Alright, so this is the video that we've all been waiting for, and it is honestly the worst law in the 48 Laws of Power, and it's Law 27. Just to build a cult-like following, and aka, when you read the book, it's all about, like, making a cult. So I'm going to tell you how to not do that, and how to not fall into a cult. So, like I said before, this is the worst law in the book, and there is no way to spin this, but there are signs that you're in a cult. One, Kool-Aid. Just kidding. But don't drink the Kool-Aid, seriously. Just don't do it. But on a real note, any good cult is like any good scam. They're on the same level, and they both use the same principles and tactics. So the book goes into pretty much saying, well, starting it, it's keeping it simple, keeping it vague. And we see this with a lot of cults or scams. Like, you want to push something to someone that they want or fixes a problem that they have. You have a simple solution. It's a quick get rich quick, get fit quick, whatever it is. You have that kind of thing. And however, you're vague about how it works. And if you're the kind of person that likes to ask questions about certain things, and like, because things don't make sense, one marking of a cult is having die-hard followers. If they already have followers that will defend it because they feel like they're part of that group, which leads to the us versus them mentality of a cult, and that's a way to keep your cult isolated and keep the people in that isolated. So if you're in a group that it's an us versus them, although I mean, if you really look at it, we're all in like this us versus them thing right now, especially this year, election year kind of thing. It's like it's a little psycho. So you could look at just even our political system like that, which is sort of nuts. But you build that us versus them mentality. And another facet that you see of this is the head person, the cult of personality, that head honcho literally painting. On top of them being vague about this with their words, they paint some grandiose vision to get people hooked. And the people who ask questions get pushed out because they're pretty much infection to the group and to the group think, because they're going to get other people to start asking questions and be like, wait a second, am I in a cult? And it really gets like that. The other facet, which is a big one, is your group, and this is a question to you, is the group that you're in, that you think you might be in, that's a cult, is it structured like a religion? Like an MLM? Like, and that's why people think MLMs are cults, because they're sort of structured like that, where you have the people on the bottom, and then there's like people on the top that have fancier titles and more power, and they make more money, and like you're just striving to get up there, and it's like, oh man, I can't wait to get up there. Then you make more people join the cult, so then you move up in the, it gets crazy. So that's another thing to look out for. And the biggest thing, it does the organization run on a product, and does like, and this is another thing with like MLMs, and does that product actually make them money? Because the step 4 was to never tell anyone how you're making your money, because cults will generally, yeah, they could make their money off products, but like mostly they make their money off the people. Like it's it's like, oh, give me all your money and we'll be good. Like, even just certain, I don't even think I could really talk about it. It's like, yeah, you go into this cult and you give them all your money, all your belongings, in order to pursue this, and that's how the organization makes its money. And honestly, I've seen this a lot, I'm not gonna lie, with like crypto YouTubers. And when it gets crazy, the bull market, you see it a lot. And there's one that I actually watched that's like, and I watched him for a couple years and a couple cycles, and I like asked myself, I was like, how are you not rich yet? Like every bear market, you see that he's in like in a bad, not a bad situation, but it's like, dude, like, you've been in the market for so long, how do you not have money? But you realize, and my point is that certain YouTubers, they tell you that they make their money off of cryptocurrency, and yeah, they probably do make some of it, but most of their money is made from YouTube ads and people paying for their courses and people literally like supporting them through Patreon and stuff like that. Like that's the real cash cow for them. It's not the crypto. They could be horrible crypto traders. They could make horrible financial decisions when it comes to crypto, but their money comes in from all that other stuff. Being an influencer, and I mean, just even talking about influencers, this is one thing you have to watch out with that. And we see all this Mr. Beast stuff happening around. Like that's a cult. Like sort of. Like forget about all the other things that happen in there. That's like having that crazy following, and I mean the wool was pulled over a bunch of people's eyes with the stuff which is now being taken away. But you get my point. Long story short, if something seems too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. I have really good scam sense. Like I could tell when I see certain things, I'm like, oh, that like right away. I attribute that to my dad, because my dad used to warn me about that stuff all the time, and then just even like not really falling for scams, but being in like scam style situations, being like, oh yeah, this like screwed me. But watch out for stuff like that, and watch out for the signs of there being a leader and he is higher than the good Lord himself, and his stuff, his you know what, excrement doesn't stink. Everyone will defend him, die hard, and they don't think he could do any wrong. And then just sketchy money stuff. And just having like vague claims that can't really be backed up by science and like backed up by fact. So those are the things to watch out for. But one of the most important things that I can say about this is if you do find yourself in a cult or in a cult-like situation, the best thing to do is to stop digging. Like, I mean, you hear this a lot about certain people that find themselves in cults. It's like, dude, like, I have no money now. Like, I can't even move. I can't do anything. That you become financially dependent on the organization, and that's also a sign. But the sunken cost fallacy is there, but the best thing to do is to, especially if whether you're at that low point or you're about to get to that low point, is to stop digging and cut your losses and get out, because it's only going to bring you down further. Like, that's honestly the most important thing. I could have just made this whole video about that. Just like, don't be afraid to phoenix yourself and just leave entirely. And it's gonna suck, yeah, but at least you're free. You know what I mean? But I think that's really all I have to say about this one. This one was a weird one, and honestly it was a hard one to do a video about, because it was a really strange chapter to read in that book. But if you don't know me, my name is Brendan. This is The Lost Tribe. If you like this content, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, join my cult. Just kidding. But seriously, if you do like the content, subscribe. Once again, Brendan, Lost Tribe. Peace out.